best grooming products for you. Just so natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger. Style, class, and luxury. Make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company. To give you swagger. Style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The black gentleman, yeah. Company. To give you swagger. Style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, July 8th, 2024. This is number 89 in the series of Nerds shows, and this evening we're covering the cult classic Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah! We're going to talk about this movie a little bit and reminisce on what was once a great time at the movies, man. Another film by John Carpenter, believe it or not, from the release date of July 2nd, 1986. This was a film that saw Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall come in and excite us in a way that we never thought we could be excited in the movie theater with some of the crossover type action adventure genre. We're talking about, if you want to talk about the truckers, because in the 70s there were trucker films, you know. Even Chuck Norris had a film, Breaker. And, you know, Kurt Russell's character was a trucker in here. And then, of course, from the 70s, we had Martial Art Film Fair. Yeah. We did. And then also a little bit of Indiana Jones, which was just starting to kick off in the early part of the 80s. And, of course, Star Wars. So this film had a little bit of it all, and we're here to talk about it and reminisce on what was the classic, the cult classic, Big Trouble in Little China. So with no further ado, allow me to introduce my partner in crime to talk with me this evening on this great subject. We got the brother Drew Titan in the building. What's going on with you, man? How you feeling this evening?
You know, I love this movie. It's all in the reflexes.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, you had was a couple of shows back, and there was a moment of reference to something regarding this movie, and you was like, that's what we should do. We should talk about Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah. So I made certain that I had written that down and kept it in the memory bank and had it right there on page ready to go. I even watched the movie again recently, like a couple of weeks ago. I don't have a Blu-ray of it yet, but I still have that old DTS DVD that it was, hey man, this movie is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A host of characters, both familiar and people that were introduced to us as an audience for the first time. From the Kung Fu movies, they had Carter Wong in there. And, you know, he starred in a number of films in the early 70s. He was usually Angela Mao's sidekick.
You know, my brother told me that, and for the life of me, he couldn't remember his name. He said, I saw this dude in those other movies.
Yeah, he played in a lot of films with Angela Mao. They starred in about 5 movies together, believe it or not, man. Yeah. And Carter Wong, actually, he started at Golden Harvest. They gave him his first shot, you know, and he became famous after that believe it or not, he's a karate man and not a kung fu guy. He's an actual karate man. And one of his most famous roles was Born Invincible, where he played the Tai Chi master who had developed his skills to the point and remained a virgin, because that was part of that whole thing about the hair turning completely white and everything.
Yeah.
And getting what they call the bell, the golden bell armor type of impenetrable skin. And in there, you know, just like Priest Pai Mei, white eyebrows, you know, that character he played in Born Invincible was that was a very famous film in Hong Kong, a very popular martial arts film. So salute to Carter Wong, who I think this was his first American film.
He did
He
well.
was going to have an opportunity to play in Bruce Lee's Game of Death before Bruce Lee died. He was cast already.
Which guy? Who was he supposed to play?
He was going to play a character that didn't make it on film yet. He was going to play a student of Bruce Lee's character, because in the original script it called for Bruce Lee to be a retired martial arts champion who was traveling Southeast Asia with his sister and his little brother. And when they stop in Korea at the airport, he gets this phone call. He goes to get the phone call, and then his sister and brother are abducted.
Yeah. I remember.
And then from there, it turns out to be some kind of Korean syndicate or whatever that's behind this, and they wanted to recruit him for this raid on this temple that had some kind of treasure that they wanted at the top of it. It was a 5-story temple, each level guarded by an expert fighter. That's why they recruited Bruce Lee. And so there was a raid attempted on the temple before this, and Lee's student participated in it, but he never made it past the top guardian, which we found out that would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? So when he escaped being killed by Kareem, but they put him in a psycho ward because he was flipping out, because he kept saying incredible strength, incredible power. He was talking about Kareem's character. So they put him in a mental institute.
They don't see 7-foot-tall black men often in Korea.
Exactly, over in Korea, right? And so remember that he has something funny with his eyes.
His eyes, yeah.
And Kareem's character in Bruce Lee's script was called Mantis.
Right.
So Bruce ends up going to the mental psych ward to visit his student to try to get information on the temple.
Right.
You know, so, you know, Bruce had this thing plotted out very well. So it's like, but Carter Wong was going to play his student, and that would have been their first time playing in film together.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You know, this film, I was a kid when it came out. I didn't see it in the movies. I saw it when it came on HBO or something, and I fell in love with it. And every time it came on, I watched it. Right. I said, man, this is Snake Plissken meets Shaw Brothers. By the way, we need to cover Escape from New York.
Yeah, that's another one. Oh, and you mentioned Shaw Brothers. There's another Shaw Brothers film that was a crossover between Hammer Films and Shaw Brothers Studios. Hammer Films used to produce the old Peter Cushing Dracula movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So they did a crossover, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, where David Chang played in that movie, and Peter Cushing was in there too. So it was like Shaw Brothers Hammer Film co-production.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, we got to do that.
You got to do that, man. Educate me on that. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, you haven't seen it?
No.
Dude, you got to check it out. It's pretty good. Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, also known as the Seven Brothers and their sister meet Dracula. That's the American trailer that used to play in cinemas here in America when the film first came out. The Seven Brothers and their one sister meet Dracula. Yeah.
Oh, man. I love to watch that. That's a popcorn film right there.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
that's what Big Trouble in Little China was.
Yeah.
You're not
absolutely.
expecting an Academy Award. It was a fun film. They didn't waste any time. You got to know the characters, and I'd say like 10 minutes into the film, he drives into Chinatown, and by accident, he's like, what's going on? I'm just trying to. He's like, well, who are those guys? And he's like, well, who are they? And he's in the middle of this ancient.
The middle of a gang fight, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what is going on? And then, well, I guess we can start talking about the film now.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. So what was his name? Was his name Jack?
Who? Kurt Russell's character?
Kurt Russell. I think his name was Jack.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Jack, something like that, Yeah.
Jack is it Jack Bart?
Yeah, like Jack Burton. Jack Burton.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a truck driver, and if you knew about truck drivers back then, how they kept themselves entertained, they didn't have smartphones or anything like that. They would talk to each other on their radios.
The CB radio, yep.
CB radios, and they would just have full-blown conversations. In fact, I remember we was in South Carolina at a relative's house, and my cousin had a CB radio in his room. I said, what is this? He said, yeah, these are the truckers driving through, and they just having this conversation. He said, you hear some strange stuff.
Yep.
Right? So he turned it on, and we were just listening. And right when he was about to turn it off, we hear these dudes telling some bugged out story about some girl they met. And we was like, oh, we was just listening. We was like, damn. And then eventually he got out of range. And we was like, oh, I wanted to hear how it ended, man. He was talking to like several dudes. It was funny, man.
You know what's pretty cool too about that era, because those guys a lot of times they didn't even know each other. They would just be talking,
they would just
keep
talking.
each other awake on the road and stuff,
Yeah.
And as this film opens, he's running some schmeal on some guys on the radio himself.
Right.
And he's eating a big old hoagie sandwich and he's talking on the CB radio.
That's right. That's what it was. That was their form of social media back then. So
absolutely,
he understood
man.
that. And he pulls up on his friend. What was his the Asian brother's name in the film?
Wang Chi.
Wang, yeah. He pulls up on him. Yeah. And I think they're having a card game. And Wang loses. And he says, okay, I'm going to cut the bottle in half and, that sort of thing. And then he finds out something was happening family related.
Hey, did you notice what he told him? He's like, I'm going to cut this bottle in half. He's like, okay, hold on a minute. He gives him his bottle when he finishes his beer. So he's like, yeah, cut this one.
He was like,
you ain't running that game on me.
Yup. And that's just what he did. Yeah. So they go into Chinatown, and that's where the fun begins. Because he's driving in the middle of a tight block. You get one group versus another group. Gang warfare. And he's like, what's going on? Now his friend Wang knows what's going on. And he's like, oh man. I forget the name of the gangs, but he says, yo, we got to get out of here. He's like, yo, what do you mean? Go where? He says, Jack, we got to get out of here. And in the middle of that, the big three show up. The big three. You had Thunder, Rain, and who's the other one? There they go. There they go.
These guys were badass, bro.
They were badass. It was Thunder, Rain, and Lightning.
Yep.
Thunder, Rain, and Lightning's on the far right. Now, for those of you, Lightning was the inspiration for Raiden on Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And these brothers came down out of nowhere, and then everybody panicked. Now, Jack is a white American, he doesn't know what's going on. But Wang and everybody else on that block knew that this meant trouble. So these dudes pull out guns and starts busting at these dudes, and they stood there just like that. They stood there. Bullets ain't phasing them.
Hey,
And
you remember when dude was trying to punch Rain?
oh
He
man,
had that stupid look on his face.
man, bro,
It's like,
there it is. Yo, wait.
come on, man.
Wait a minute. When I ain't clean my room, that's the look my mom's gave me. Right before the inevitable. I don't remember shit after that. Clean your room.
Oh,
I go to
man.
close my door. An hour later, she opened that door just like that. Waking up in the ER.
Man.
Oh man.
This
So they
dude,
came down and-
and he had that look, you know, it was perfect for the role and everything, right? It was like, man, I never forgot that look either, man.
oh,
I always remember this guy.
That was funny. But if you busting shots at this dude and these are direct hits and he gives you that look, it's time to go. It's time to go. You ain't got no wins or nothing. So that was an epic scene because when I'm first watching the movie, I just thought I was gonna watch these two clans start fighting and they wouldn't have to fight their way. I didn't know it was gonna get supernatural like that. And when they came down, I was like, oh, what's going on here? And my brother sees Thunder. He says, oh, I seen that guy before. Oh man. So I'm like, oh, they're gonna do the kung fu in this film too. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh man, so it escalated from there. They had to go into underground Chinatown and who's it, man? Who's the what's his name? Victor Wong. He was in so many movies, but he's always the wise. There he is on the left.
Yeah, the old guy.
He's always the wise Asian man. He was also in The Golden Child. He's always the wise. He's what you call like I don't want to be disrespectful when I say this, but like the renter Asian, like
yeah.
Pat Morita, you know, the guy that's in all these movies, the Asian dude with the mustache and the receding hairline. He was in Brandon Lee's Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire, yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that guy's name, but I think he has a Hollywood square.
Yeah, what it is with those guys, Drew and Chat, these were Asians who could speak fluent English without much of a distinctive accent. In other words, what they would call a clear accent. Right. And they were fortunate to receive these roles over others, even though there may have been other Asians who were totally capable. These men, they were cast like that, just like George Takei from Star Trek.
Yes.
You know, guys like that. Or Mako. Remember Mako? He was in Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Guys like that, they could speak fluent, clear English without a heavy accent. One of the reasons why they didn't want to cast Bruce Lee originally in Hollywood is because they thought that his Cantonese accent over his English made it difficult to understand some things when he said, when he pronounced certain words and stuff like that. Very biased and prejudiced at that time was Hollywood. But even actors like Key Luke, who was the old blind man from the TV series Kung Fu, he received a lot of opportunities and roles and everything because he was another Asian that could speak English clearly without the hint of the accent. So back then in those days, they did that a lot.
You know
And
what's amazing? What's amazing is that as Asians, they do know the other Asian accents when they speak English, so they mimic that. When Pat Morita played Mr. Miyagi, that was a fake accent. Pat Morita spoke perfect English.
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yep. So he knew that he did the accent well. A lot of these guys do that.
And remember, Pat Morita was on Happy Days.
Man, he was on episodes of Sanford and Son. Man, he's been around forever.
He was
Pat Morita always got work.
Very long time, bro. Long time.
That guy been around since the early 70s, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Pat Morita, man.
Mm-hmm.
We should do something on him. He's unsung. He's an unsung hero.
Yeah.
Pat Morita. He even had a little series when he was a detective or something. He used to come on CBS. Forgot the name of it, but I'm sure we could find it.
And I just thought of another show that we should talk about. Do you remember that little small mini series that starred Russell Wong, where it was he and his brother? They were two Asians that had come to America, and they got involved in some, triad stuff from here. And what was it called? Something Sun. And they had action scenes in there where they were Vanishing Sun. Thank you, Young Deezy. See, people be out there watching Vanishing Sun. There you go. Do you remember that?
No, no, wait. What year was that out?
That Vanishing Sun came, oh my goodness, don't get me the line, but it had to be early 90s. Because it starred Russell Wong.
Did that come on?
Young Deezy says 93. He must have Googled it.
No, I was about to say that came on when I was in high school. And as you're speaking, I remember it. I'm trying to remember what network it was on.
Because Russell Wong was the star. Then the other Asian guy that was played his brother, he was a shorter guy, kind of heavier set. But they did martial arts in there and everything.
That's Channel 9 over
there. It was a pretty damn good series, especially the first few episodes. It had me hooked like that. But as it went on a little while, they kind of laid back from the action a little bit, which was why people was tuning in, because we were martial art film buffs and we got a chance to see that stuff on TV weekly. We were tuning in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice little mini series for the time that it lasted.
Yeah, that was at UPN. That's Channel 9 out here in New York. So I do remember that. I was in high school.
Vanishing Sun. Yeah, I had to think about it. I know it was Something Sun. Yeah, Vanishing Sun.
Yep. Yeah. Man, listen, man. This film, the plot, like I said, y'all, this is a popcorn movie. Don't expect Academy Award, but this was, it didn't take a break. It had a pretty good, mythical. He needed two chicks with the green eyes, and it's like you don't find a Chinese one with green eyes, but they found one. And what's interesting is, shorty who the white chick was playing two parts, y'all. It was her.
Yeah.
Kim Cattrall. She was playing two parts.
Yeah.
And he had to line them up. And now I forget what was his name? I almost said Pai Mei. Blasphemy.
Old guy here.
Yeah. Damn, what the hell was his name?
Victor Wong is the name of the guy, but they call him Egg Shing.
All right, what was his name? Lo Pan in the movie. This is Lo Pan, right?
No, that's well, yeah. Yeah, David Lo Pan. Yeah.
Right. So Lo Pan, and it was a big deal because they seen him on the street. It was like, you saw Lo Pan on the street the whole time. Kurt Russell, Jack is like, what's going on? Why is this a big deal? He's like, man, oh yeah, they kidnapped. I think that was Wang's girl. I think that was his girl.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said, come on, Wang, you can't go in there. You don't go in and out of there. He said, like the wind. Absolutely. He didn't know that Wang had skills.
Right, Wang could fight, man.
You didn't know, but I didn't know. I was like, what is going on here? So he they take his girl. He's going to get his girl back. And underground Chinatown was just, there was things going on down there that you had no idea, man. That's crazy, man. But every Chinatown in America had to been hot after this movie, man. Because this movie was so dope, man. And it's I think Lo Pan was trying to become human again. So he needed these two women with green eyes. And man, this is just, it's fantasy, but it's action. The plot is very simple. It's not hard to follow. If you got a short attention span, this is the movie for you. But my goodness, man. Lo Pan. There they go. Now, how did they pull this off? They got because she definitely was playing two parts, but when they had the makeup on, they did get another woman to play her because she was playing two parts.
Right.
Man. Oh, man. This was, I think this was when Thunder came in the room. Holy crap, man. Holy crap. When Thunder came into the room, and, well, I want to go in order. They're in underground Chinatown. They get in touch with the appropriate people. They said Lo Pan was seen on the street. It's like, no, we gotta fix this, man, because if he's on the street, there's something like really bugged out about to happen. And they go on this quest to find Shorty. And let's get to I want to get to that fight scene. Like that all-out fight scene. Holy cow, man, that fight scene was crazy. So Lo Pan has these goons, and I forget the name of the who are the guys that Wang and the dude that played his, was that his uncle or grandfather? They got these supernatural dudes together to go.
Yeah, Uncle Chu. That was
Chu, right? Yeah.
That was dude's Wang's uncle. Yeah.
So he goes to get that little Uncle Chu's army to go stomp Lo Pan. And there's all kinds of death traps down there. Sidebar, when they're in the sewer and that damn thing came out and ate that dude, he smoke bomb at it, and he says, "And don't you come out ever again." He said, "Whoa." Kurt was like, "What won't come out?" He said, "What's that?" He was crazy panicking, like, what won't come out? What was that? Yo, that was mad funny, man. I was like, yo, what the fuck? That's just down in the sewers? Don't come out. What the hell was that? He was panicking, and he's around a bunch of Asians like, this is normal? This is not normal. That wasn't even an alligator. My God, man. So, that's another thing. He's going through all of this, and he can't find his truck because he left it on the damn street. Man. So now, where we at? The coolest part was when they got the girls and they had to pass that trial where they had to hold on to the burning swords. And Thunder, Lightning, and who's the other guy?
Rain.
Thunder and Rain. They had to come. They came out and they did their little martial arts dance. That was pretty dope, man. I like that. And they passed that test. So Lo Pan was like, all right, I got the right people here. So he has to do this ceremony. Now, before they did the ceremony, that's when Wang and Jack and that army bust into that room. And they all start fighting. And Stormy, You know, with that classic 80s movie music. Man, that was everything to me. That was everything to me. Mind you, it was 1986, 1987. I was like maybe 11 or 12. So, you know, I was hooked. Man, they came in and Wang starts fighting Rain and they're literally flying in the air fighting. It was crazy. I said, man, he didn't know. How did not know that Wang got skills like this? Man, so he fought Rain and he beat him. If y'all haven't seen this movie, please go see it.
It's a lot of fun, man. It really is. You know, and what was really cool too was that the plot was so funky and simple that you didn't care. You was just it's a good time. Yeah. You know, it's a good time to sit down and kill. What was it? A 2-hour movie or something like that?
It was less than 2 hours. It was less than 2 hours. So you're not losing your entire day watching this thing. It's a really good time, man. And it's great, man. It's great. So when they're fighting, there's a part where Uncle starts fighting Lo Pan, and he takes his gem and shoots a ray at Lo Pan, and Lo Pan puts his fingers together and counters it with another ray. And within the rays, they turn into like samurais.
Yeah, yeah.
They start fighting each other, and I said, "Oh, that was crazy!" Because you know why? They put the camera on Lo Pan, and he's working it like a video game, like a control.
Right.
You gotta understand, this is the '80s, so it's like they're paying homage to the video game craze in the '80s, because you know there was a lot of elevator action, Pitfall, Pac-Man, Centipede.
And how about the costumes for the movie? They were
man,
pretty darn good, right?
It was great. It was great, you know, because pardon my American ignorance and me being a child. The only thing I knew about, you know, Asian culture was through the martial arts films. You know what I mean? So the fact that this was an updated version, and you see things like this, the costumes, and I mean, it was very fascinating. It was very fascinating, man. And I really appreciated that, man. I mean, yo, man, when they had that fight, man. So the funny part is Uncle didn't beat Lo Pan. He runs off in the back, and Jack catches up to Lo Pan. And Jack is just, oh wait, hold on. A very funny part happened, because this was kind of comedy. There was a lot of funny parts in this. Jack, they had drank this elixir that made them like super hype. It was probably Ostomy back then. So he was like, yeah, I really feel like I could like take on the world. I feel good. So when they go into that big room and they start fighting everybody, they had these huge like samurais. Dude walks up on Jack and he has a knife in his boot. So he falls and the samurai falls on him and he stabs the dude dies. But Jack couldn't push him off of him. So the whole fight, he's missing it because this dude is heavy and laying on him. Right. That was the joke. He couldn't get him off. And when he finally got him off, he jumps up like, ha ha! And everybody's dead. The fight was over. It was funny as hell. So he runs after, because of course his love interest became, what's this shorty's name? Gracie. That became his love interest. So he's one deep with Lo Pan. So you're looking at it like bullets ain't gonna affect this guy, and this is Lo Pan. This is the final boss. What's this American white guy gonna do? So Jack takes this knife. He goes to throw it at Lo Pan, and the shit goes wide right, totally misses him. And Lo Pan looks at him, he's like, oh man. So then he picks up the knife and he says something. Then he says, goodbye, Mr. Burton. Now Lopan goes to throw the knife. Jack catches the knife and throws it back at him, hits him direct hit in the forehead, kills him. He falls on the goddamn floor, and I'm like, oh, he killed him. So now Lopan, oh, that's another thing. When he did the ceremony, Lopan became human. He became human. So he killed him. So now he's on the floor. Thunder comes into the room, and he looks at Lopan on the floor dead. And Thunder's power was he would be able to like grow, like Bane.
Grow, expand, yeah.
He would expand. So, a matter of fact, there was an instance in the film where someone grabbed him and he expanded and broke the hold. So I was like, what the hell is his power? So now he sees Lopan on the floor. And he turns around with that face. And he starts breathing heavy. And he goes, oh. And Wayne comes in, and then there he is. That's him in the middle. And he was like, I don't think he's going to stop. He starts screaming, and they dipped out the room, and the last thing you see is him screaming like that with smoke coming out of his nostrils. He goes, ah! And he just blew up and killed himself. And that's how Thunder goes out. Man. That was funny as hell, man. Now, I forgot how, well, Wayne got Rain. He did something to him, and he went flying through the Buddha statue, and that's how he got his. I don't remember. Oh, wait. I do remember how Lightning didn't make it. I think they dropped, like he came into a building and a part of the ceiling fell on him.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. That was kind of whack how they went out, though. But that how Lopan died was funny as hell. And this right here, holy smokes. That was funny, man. This was a fun film. And when it was leaving, he went through this little pathway, and there's his truck. He found his truck and peels off. But if you remember the very ending, that very, very ending, when he's driving in the rain and the thunder, he's talking on his CB radio. And that monster that was running around in the sewer, there was a different monster, not the one that ate the dude. It was a different one. Sort of looked like Blanca from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Blanca was in his truck, right where the hook is, and that's how the movie ends. But as a youth, I wanted to see a sequel, but this is one of those films where you just leave it alone. A sequel,
it's it has its points, but you know what? Then again, a lot of John Carpenter's films were like that, right?
Yeah.
They were standalone films, even though a couple of them have been remade. But it's like films like The Thing,
yeah,
or what's that other one that I love? They Live, man. They Live is a classic.
That's an underrated film, man. That's an underrated film.
We did that too, didn't we? We talked about They Live. Yeah.
Underrated film.
Put the damn glasses on.
Like, my gosh. Now,
that's the best fight scene over something stupid you'll ever see.
Yeah. When you see The Thing, the sequel was actually a prequel. And that was pretty dope. Because how it ended was how the original movie began, with Kurt Russell, by the way.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was real good, man. You know what we need to do? We need to do Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse. We need to do a review on that. Did you watch those Grindhouse films that he made?
Yeah, I got them. I got the what do you call it? The
Terror.
Yeah, I got the dual the dual pack. Yeah.
I saw that in the movies. That was an event, man. When we went to the movies to see that, me and my friends, the theater we went to, they had the employees dressed up like throwback employees. And they were serving the popcorn the way they used to serve it in the 70s and 80s. It was dope. The employees, everybody got into it. The experience that night was really good. I went on a Friday night. The experience was great. The experience was great. All the commercials they played, you know, I was like, man, I remember this when I was a kid. It was crazy, man. And it was a pointless B-movie style horror. It was funny, man. Funny. I love that. But yeah, this film, you gotta have. This is one of the films you have to have in your collection, man. This is one of the films you have to have. This is a must-have.
I agree. You know what? This is kind of like along up there with like stuff like The Last Dragon, and stuff like that. It's like kind of that ilk.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. And this left the impact going into the 90s when you know, the video game era, like said, Mortal Kombat got this written all over it. Raiden, Shang Tsung was obviously Lo Pan. Liu Kang was another Bruce Lee character. You know what I mean? This if you're from our era, everybody's seen this. Now, did we do a review on movies that should have sequels or we would like to see sequels of? We should do that.
No, we didn't do that.
Because there's a few things that I would like to have seen. I mean, now, today, depending on who directs it, it'd be okay to see a sequel. Depending on, but you'd have to bring back as much of the original cast as ever. Kurt Russell is still around. Who's still around from that cast? Kurt's still around. I think Dennis Dunn is still around. Victor Wong, I think he passed, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of these.
Oh, wow. He died in 2001. Shit. James Hong. He's still alive. He is 95 years old. Whew. Yeah. Kim is still alive. Susie Pie is still alive. Carter Wong is still alive. Hell, bring everybody back. Peter Kwong, Rain, he's still alive. James Potts, he's mixed, he's Japanese, but he's American. He's still around. That's the guy's name, Al Leong. He's a stuntman. He's still around. Bring him back. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good, like to explore a sequel, because resurrecting throwback stuff, that seems to be a thing. You don't have to put it in theaters. Go take it straight to Netflix. Yeah. That'd be great. Take it straight, because they just did the Beverly Hills Cop. Did you watch that?
Nah.
Yeah, I did. I watched it the other day. It wasn't bad. I knew what to expect. It wasn't bad. Chi-Town's finest in the building. Salute. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. You know, but I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel or a miniseries connected to the story of this. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. But this is, man. This is. I have it. I have a DVD. I have this on DVD. I did catch it on. What network was it? It came on TV somewhere, and I just ended up watching like the last hour of it. But and this is all in that genre. Like Last Dragon. Was this in the same? This Last Dragon came out what year?
86, I think.
86. So this was around the same. This is the same. It's the same thing. My goodness, man. But this was, man. This movie for me. You gotta understand, man. everything is amplified when you're a child. I was a preteen when I watched this, so this was like everything, man. My gosh, man, this had it all, man. The fight scenes, the one-liners, it's all in the reflexes, man. It's all in the reflexes. Shakira, salute, Miss Fields. How are you?
Yeah,
man. This was just love this film, man. Love this film. We were talking. This made more money out of the theaters than it's made in the theaters, correct?
Yeah, it became popular, after because home video kind of took off in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So some of these films where people got a chance to watch it at home and on VHS or something, when they rent from Blockbuster Video or whatever, you get a chance to watch it several times, and then you begin to enjoy it because, especially if it was something you weren't accustomed to, because this was a hybrid film, like we talked about, blending so many genres into one. So for some people, that could be culture shock. For those of us who were nerds from the beginning, we just take to it right away. Yeah. But I think that after people got a chance to watch it at home, like someone in the chat said earlier, it's like every time it came on, I never changed the channel. It's like you just watch it till you finish the movie, no matter where it starts. When you flip it and it's on. I think replay value had a tremendous impact on this, and which is why it elevated to that cult status. I do believe other films, like you and I behind the scenes, we were talking, The Matrix is a film like that.
Yes.
So it still made money at the box office. When people got a chance to watch it at home on DVD, it really took off because you could slow it down. You could go back and listen to what Morpheus is saying and what the Oracle is saying. Because in the movie theater, you're sitting there and you're trying to follow the action. You're trying to follow this script. And it's like, what the hell are they talking about? You know what I mean? It's like
right.
When you're at home and you can stop it and replay it and stuff like that, it makes it where you take to it even more at home. So, again, films like this, it's a reason why movie going was so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
The experience, and that's something that we spoke about. The nostalgia, going to the movies for the things we take advantage of today. It's like, I went to the movies, whatever. But back then, when we were younger, it was an event. You actually had to, with me, I remember going with my parents. We went to a drive-in film. Going with the parents, getting into the car, getting the popcorn. I always keep thinking about my pops.
Oh man.
I spoke to him about that shit the other day. All right, chat. Listen, there was a drive-in movie in the Bronx way back in the day, right? Like in the late 70s, early 80s, right? So we went to the drive-in theater, right? So I'm sitting, we sitting in the back seat, my dad's Cadillac, right? My dad had to go into the place to get the snacks, right? The ground was gravel. With the rocks, it was gravel. So my pops is walking back with a tub of popcorn, a hot dog, and I think a pizza and some sodas, and he's just walking. And he got right to the car. And all I heard was brothers, my pops go, whoa.
Oh no.
Oh, the goddamn popcorn flew all directions. He smashed the bucket on the side of the car. The hot dogs fell, the sodas all over the floor. He pounds the side of the car. He stepped back and he got the Superman pose. He's looking at it. He got veins. Back then, my father was big like me. He had veins coming out his neck, and he's looking. His eyes is out his head, and my brother's looking, and I look. He opens the door, and he sat down and was quiet. He slammed the door. And my pops had the afro, right? When he slammed the door, his afro. And I'm in the back seat, and I'm like maybe 7, and I look at my brother, I look at my pops, and I said, "You're not gonna go back and do another?" And my brother hit me. He was like, "Boom!" I was like, "Ow!" He was pissed. He was cursing himself. He took down the speaker, put it in aggressively, put it in the window, and wound it up, and sat there and watched the movie. Oh, he was tired. I was like, "You're not gonna go back?" My brother was like, "Boom!" I was like, "Ow!" Oh man. God damn, what year was that? That was like 82, 83. Man. Oh my God. He destroyed all the snacks. And they went back and stared at it. He was like, "God damn it." Oh man, it was funny. Oh man. I spoke to
Stormy. You say you talked to him about it recently. What did he say? What did he say?
I said, man, he said, "Oh man, you don't know the stress." He said, "You don't know the stress, man." He said, "Kid, that was my last $20." And I spent it and literally threw the damn thing on the floor. Oh man. But I remember hearing, he's like, "Whoa." And then he tackled the side of the Cadillac. Whoa, boom. He was like, "What the?" And
Damn.
He said he looked down. He said, "I'm looking down to see what I can salvage." It was all gone. The hot dog was under the damn Cadillac. I was like, damn. Oh, man.
Damn, man. Damn.
That will never not be funny, man, because I remember that. And I remember him sitting, when he saw me, when he came back and when he got in the car and slammed it, his afro went like this. And I was sitting back and I'm looking, and I was like, "You're not gonna go back?" And my brother just hit the shit. He was like, "Boom!" Like, "Shut up, shut up! You about to get us both killed." The man got a gun.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll never forget that, man. That was funny as hell.
That's crazy, bro. That is absolutely insane.
Oh my God. My pops had the Hulk Hogan mustache. That was funny as hell. Oh man. I don't. I said, what was we watching that day? You don't remember? I don't even remember what we went to go see. Oh, that was funny.
That took everything away. It took all the attention from the movie. It's like,
damn, that was funny. Oh man, that was funny as hell. Ooh, I'll never forget that. You know, it wasn't Big Trouble in Little China. Damn, man. If they were to make a sequel to this, to me, you bring back as much as the original cast, but who you think would be a good addition in a sequel to this?
Donnie Yen.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like that character that played by old boy Wong, I think that cat Wu Jing from the Hong Kong films would be great. Wu Jing is awesome. Wu Jing is the guy that I told you to when you watch SPL. That's the one
Yeah.
that fought in the alley.
Yes.
That's Wu Jing. The big tall guy from Fist of Legend that used to be Jackie Chan's bodyguard. He would be good. Carter Wong is still available to do something. To bring him back would be great. As far as the old masters and stuff like that, you can kind of get away with, you know, putting somebody in aged makeup or whatever, but I don't know. Kurt Russell, his role, he doesn't look too much different than what he looked then. He's just
he looked great.
Kurt is good for his age. I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be done. It could definitely be done.
Yeah,
I was amazed that like what Marvel did with Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, when they showed Kurt as a younger self, he looked like he looked in this movie.
Was that not crazy?
Wasn't that amazing what they did with him?
Insane. I said, oh my God, man, what they're doing with this with CGI is amazing. That was amazing. They even did it with Robert Downey.
Just like this. They had him looking just like he looked in this film.
When they made Robert Downey look like he did in 1985.
Right.
That was incredible. That was incredible. Yeah. I don't want to see a reboot of this. I want to see a sequel. Yeah, when he played Ego, Jimmy Bernard, Ego, they made him look so young. I want to pick up with Kurt Russell saying, well, you know, when they say, well, what's going on? I've been on a mission for the last 40 years. Well, I thought it was over. I put him to a truck stop. A goddamn monster hops out on me. I had to kill it. And it's been on ever since. Pick up the story from there. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope. And please, they don't woke it out. I don't want no goddamn women running around. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Young DZ, Will Smith and Gemini Man. That CGI was crazy at the end. The last
dude, when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute.
Oh shit, he's fighting the Fresh Prince. He's fighting the Fresh Prince. That was incredible.
I was like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, did they clone this dude? It's like
seemed like it. It was him. That was crazy, man. That was, man. But they can do it now. It's more tolerable. Get some decent writers, you know. And you ain't got to put it in the theater. Take it straight to Netflix. Those Netflix films, they do really good. The Korean shows that they have on Netflix is pretty good. They got some nice. They got some nice movies on there. I got caught up in a lot of that stuff. It's pretty good. Damn good, man. Oh yeah, Jimmy. You know we gotta Stormy. You see what Jimmy Bernard's asking? We got to give that some attention. We need a whole show for that. With the Blade situation. Goodness.
Yeah. I watched a guy's video one day last week talking about the Blade situation, and also a couple of his videos where he talked about the Black Panther situation.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: we could do a show on it, which would probably be better.
Yeah.
But Marvel didn't intend for the Black Panther to be as successful as it was.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And it really painted them into a corner because that character revolutionized the whole hero experience from a perspective that they didn't mind taking our money, but they did mind us taking a forefront seat ahead of things.
Mm-hmm.
And the convenience of Chad falling ill and then passing away, it gave them a point of getting out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The decision to not recast that role, even though when he was alive, way before it was known that he got sick, because, you know, he did interviews and stuff after the film was made, press releases during the time to promote the film. He said, though he relished the fact that he was, you know, granted that opportunity and that character, what it means and everything, he said by no means did he ever think of it as it was just his role. He said he foresaw that role being something that could be passed on, just like Superman or whatever.
Kind of like 50 Superman.
Yeah. And they didn't listen to that. They wanted to nip that in the bud. The video that I told you that I watched on it, I was very surprised that the man that produced that video, he's got a channel. I'm still kind of watching him a little bit to see if I want to promote him, because you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. Yeah, I know.
But he said something very profound. He said that Ryan Coogler went along with what Marvel ended up doing, the decisions that they made, which made him look at Ryan Coogler in a different way. I have to say, I agree. Then he compared what Coogler's works have been prior to Black Panther and then post Black Panther. Strong characters that have had no parents or coming from single raised households and influences and things of that nature. And I said, damn, he's right. Even if you go back and watch Get Out, which is not Ryan Coogler, but when you talk about the people that were allowed to do a film like that, being caught up in a trick bag is something that Hollywood likes to promote with our community.
If you're not paying attention,
you know what scene stands out from Black Panther to me? The first film. I've only watched the second film once, believe it or not. The second film, I've only watched it once. I got it on. I saw it in the theater. I haven't watched it at home on Blu-ray. I got the Blu-ray and everything. I haven't watched it. But the film, the scene that stood out in the Black Panther film for me is a scene that you don't hear many people talk about. It doesn't get a lot of hype or anything. And I want to ask you, try to think very clearly, because I'm going to tell you which scene it is, but what scene do you think it might be that stood out to me for Black Panther?
First film, Black Panther. Let me take a stab at this.
It's not an action scene.
No. I know. I would figure. Was it the scene when Killmonger was having that heart-to-heart with his father? And King T'Challa showed up early in the film?
No, but that's a hell of a scene within itself.
Yeah.
The scene that stood out to me, it's a simple scene. It's the last shot in the film. When the little boy playing ball on the court walks over to T'Challa and Shuri, and he's like, "Is that yours?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he says, "Who are you?" And Chad just gives him that little slight smile. Dude, that hits me right here, because that's a little black boy playing ball on the basketball court. What are we always associated and attributed to? Sports, athletics.
That's the only way out.
His conversation with Shuri was that they were going to build a center.
The center, yes.
Where they can teach these people from this community how to enrich their lives. That scene, that little boy asking him, "Who are you?" Do you know, if you think about it, it's so poignant, because we didn't know who he was until the credits started rolling in that film. But Drew, chat, that was our hero, bro.
Mhm.
That was ours.
Yep.
And they fucking took it away. This is why they've collapsed. This is why it won't ever be right again. They could try to bring all them old people back into this new stuff that they're doing. It's not going to work anymore, because they broke the principles of what it's all about. They broke it. They broke it. But that scene right there, that scene always gets me, man. It always gets me. Because it's like having someone who's trying to envision or dream, and then all of a sudden they got the roadmap to what they can be presented in front of them in the form of T'Challa. That's what that was.
So now what they're going to do is they're going to bring the character back. They brought it back in the form of his sister, which kind of happened in the comic. But one thing I'll say about the sequel, and I know we're talking about Big Trouble in Little China, but that's what I'm saying. We need to dedicate a whole show to Black Panther. One thing I'll say I did appreciate about the second film was that the women didn't want to step up and lead. They mourned the passing of the men that were in charge. They didn't want it. They did it because they had to, but they didn't want it.
Well, superficially, you look at it as, because you look at it as a detriment, because the visual that you create, that is embedded. That's just like me speaking about that final scene in the first film. Nobody probably thought about that till I mentioned it. But if you go back and watch it, I guarantee you'll feel something emotional once you come across it, because it's supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
This sequel, no kingdom can stand if the women are forced to be the leaders.
True.
And that's what they impacted on us. And look at how in disarray our community actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Yep.
That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, we're gonna cook on that, because there was a lot of things that we was taking advantage of. I'll just say that. It's taken advantage of, but we'll cook on that. But getting back to this cult classic, Big Trouble in Little China, man. If you've never seen this film, see it. There's no excuse for you. You can find it on I don't know if it's on Netflix. You can find it somewhere. It's probably on YouTube. Sit through it. Put it on a big screen and sit through it. This is a great film, man. It's a great film, and there's a lot of nuggets in there. You probably watch something today, and you'll figure out that, oh, is this? I just saw that on Big Trouble in Little China. This film had a impact on pop culture. This is one of those films you talk about. This is one of those films you talk about, man. I will always love this film. I have it on DVD. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get. It's one of those things.
Yeah. So you got pep talk tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and give us some final thoughts, man, and put us in a place where set up what we can do in the future.
Or get this film, get it on DVD, get it on Blu-ray, watch it on YouTube, or it's not gonna take too much of your time. Love this film. It has a bit of I like to say an all-star 80s cast in this. They would call this a B movie, but B movies are the best sometimes. B movies are the best. You understand? Did we do a show on B movies? I swore we did we?
No, we had said we were going to do that.
Yeah,
but we haven't done it yet. It's one of the ones we got written. I got it written down.
Yeah, we gotta do that. This is one of those B movies that just turned out to be great. Man, but this I always have fun, man. Always have fun talking about stuff like that because it takes me somewhere. Big Trouble in Little China. I'd watch this and then go right to playing my video games in my bedroom somewhere. You know what I mean? Write this down, Stormy. Kung Fu video games. Kung Fu video games. Young DZ, yes, the Toxic Avenger. Oh my God, that movie was so bad it was great. The Toxic Avenger. You remember Nukem High? What the hell was going on in that film, man? It was crazy. Oh man, but yeah, this is great, man. If you've never seen Big Trouble in Little China, please watch it. And that's all I got for this, man. A big old reminisce, man. This is great. And shout out to Raven, inspired by this film. Hell yeah.
Also, we should be looking at that film that I recommended earlier in this show, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. You need to watch that. Yeah. It's out there, so you could probably even watch it off of YouTube or something.
Let me see if it's on YouTube. Wow. There it is. I'll be watching this. Yep.
Yeah,
there it
check
is.
it out.
Absolutely.
Check it out. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. And we'll get some things going. But it's been a great show. It goes by fast. This hour and a half goes by fast, man.
Sure does, man.
But I enjoy this. I really like doing this show. I want everybody to know you could take this same energy on over to Pep Talk. Drew will have that starting up in about 8 minutes. So with that being said, we're going to say goodnight to you guys. Appreciate everybody that came in. If you're catching us late, catch the replay in full effect, because this is one for the books, man. Big Trouble in Little China. John Carpenter. Yeah. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch you guys again on the next one. Peace to everybody.
Peace.